like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah.
What is up? We are back again. Again, TP is still out. But you got me, and I got the homie, the OG, Glasses Malone. Glasses, bro, what's good?
Man, you got that COVID. Covered in COVID.
Yeah,
I'm better than PPJ for sure because I ain't got COVID. So shit.
Facts. But NBA Finals is over. I know we've had conversations that led us to having this episode. But the finals is over. The Bucks are champions. First of all, I guess we could talk about Giannis' closeout game. Where does that rank in your mind as far as closeout games that you've seen in the NBA Finals?
That I seen with my own eyes is probably the best one. That's probably fair to say. Michael Jordan, obviously, against the Jazz is really dope, and he had that last shot, but it's different to watch one person dominate on both ends of the balls. And honestly, in that game 6 with Jordan, like he played the game that we knew he was going to play. You know what I mean? He didn't have to step up and be anything but himself. To watch Giannis go up there and knock down all of those free throws, to play like we really got to see somebody step, out onto the big stage and become the superstar that everybody thought they could be. That was like, it's by far the best I've seen with my eyes. You know what I mean? Because he dominated on both sides of the ball. And the only thing I can compare it to, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I mean, not in real time. I watched it on YouTube at this point. Is Magic Johnson's game?
The Magic game, yeah. If I had to rank them, what I've seen with my own 2 eyes, I think Jordan is number 1 still. Obviously biased. I'm from Chicago, but also Pippen was like basically non-existent in that game. Like his back was pretty much finished. I think Ron Harper had like a knee issue. So it was like the whole brunt of the offense was completely on him. Obviously, Rodman was still out there, but the whole brunt of the offense was completely on him. For him to be, I think it was 36 at the time. I think he was 36 years old. The last game he played, for that to just go out in that way, and then also have the last shot. I'm gonna go with that one first. But after that, I think the Giannis performance. I mean, literally in closeout game in like the last 40 years. Like you said, outside of the Magic Johnson game, in which it's game 6, he goes and plays against Dr. J. I don't think Moses was on the team yet. Yeah, but you go play against Dr. J. You're in Philadelphia on the road. Kareem is out, sprained ankle. Yeah, as a rookie, starting at center. I think he played all 5 positions in that game. For him to go do that, obviously that's up there. But Giannis was up there with any performance that I've ever seen from anybody. Like that was a crazy. I didn't go in, and then he also scored, I think, 33 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't just that. Obviously, the 5 blocks. All the 5 blocks meant something.
Yeah.
All the 5 blocks meant something.
They wasn't like phantom. Like his presence was just ominous. Like he was omnipotent in that game. He was everywhere at one time. You know what I mean? All the time. And yeah, man, it's tough. Even with the Jordan game, like Scotty's game, he just scored a ton of points, but he was really efficient. He shot great that game. He knocked down, he shot 50 or 60%, 50%. And I agree, Mike. I'm used to Mike carrying the brunt of the offense. You know what I mean? It's not spectacular. It was dope because it was in the finals in game 6 and knocking that last shot down. But man, to watch Giannis do it, I think we all knew Mike was going to do that. You know what I mean? I think we all knew Mike was going to do that. I don't think any of us saw Giannis closing out.
No, nobody saw Giannis. Honestly, I thought the game wouldn't even be close, and I thought that when they went up 13, went up
the first quarter.
Yeah, when they went up 13, I'm like, yep, here we go. We're not going to be here long. And then for some reason, Milwaukee just went back to normal Milwaukee when they just forget how to play offense. I don't know.
But back to this point, I've been saying this to y'all this whole time. They don't have a good offense.
They don't. They really don't.
They don't have a good offense. They have an MVP, and then they got a bunch of, they don't have a horrible offense, but they don't have a good offense. Again, man, it's one MVP and a bunch of other guys. Through this whole playoff, I watched Perk, I watched Stack, I watched Jack, different people, Barron, like, he's Chris Middleton is Batman. I'm like, bro, there's no And it's crazy because that term came about with LeBron James, to describe, these superstars he's playing with. Oh, Dwayne Wade is Robin, or Kyrie Irving is Robin, or you feel me? Or Dwayne, he's Robin, or
Anthony Davis.
Hold up, dude. Hold up.
Or Anthony Davis. But yeah, man,
hold up. So Anthony Davis is Robin, but I'm sorry, to get to that point, Robin is a superstar. Like Robin has his own film. Like you can make a film on Robin. There's no Robin. It's just Superman. It's just Superman. This is not Batman and Robin. There's no co-stars. It's just, Superman. And there's no co-stars because the NBA and its fans doesn't reward defense. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's no co-stars in this film. Again, it's one of them situations where we're looking at Superman and we're looking at one of the greatest things that ever happened in the NBA, and we can't even process it because, we're not used to seeing it. We've never seen it like this.
Never.
Magic Johnson probably was what it looked like, where you was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Jordan, we knew what was going to happen in Game 6. I don't care what we say. I think we all thought the Bucks would win. You know what I mean? I don't know. I wasn't quite certain because their offense is clunky, and I've been saying it the whole time. But I definitely didn't see him dropping a 50-point.
I didn't see that.
He kick him out of Milwaukee. He sent them home with 50. He was like, "Y'all hungry? We send you home with this 50-piece nugget right here."
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see that at all. But honestly, I just think the dope and beautiful thing about it was game by game, you could see there were times in previous years in which I thought confidence was the thing that was holding Giannis back. Like, obviously, he's the best player out there. He's the most dominant force out there. You can have an impact on the game in some type of way, however you want to have it. But I think game by game, and you saw confidence building and building and building and building and building. So you get to Game 6, you're like, yo, this is my moment. And you could just even feel like even the free throws, I think it's more just a confidence thing. Even the jumpers he was hitting, it's a confidence thing. Like I'm sure if you go watch a Giannis workout, he probably makes all of those. All of them in a workout. His workout probably looks fucking it. Like, he trains hard. I know. So the workout probably looks literally incredible.
I seen Ben Simmons workout. It was the same. He was knocking down these 17-footers. I'm like, what the fuck? But again, it's one of those things where I think we respect the humility, we appreciate it, but we don't really give it its true credence because even in the first half, he tried to get everybody involved. Yeah, he tried to get Chris involved. They tried to get Drew involved. Tried to get
Pat Connaughton. Pat Connaughton too.
And it's like they went in the huddle. They went in halftime. It was like, "Yo, dude, finish this." Like the team was like, "Yo, finish this,"
and like, we'll come along and help you at some point.
Yeah. And in the third quarter, man, it was amazing. It was amazing to see. It's the best finals performance I ever seen with my eyes. I ain't gonna lie. Like, where I was like, damn, I never seen nobody dominate both ways so flashy still. Like, you know what I mean? Still so like alley-oops, finishes, left hand layup, right hand layup, backwards, mid ranges, 3 points. I'm gonna make all my free throws. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna block Book, I'm gonna block CP, and I'm gonna block Aiden all in the same game.
Yeah. No, it was again, like I said, the only one that I saw in my life that I'll put over it is Michael Jordan, but I'm just biased. And also on the road, even just like the last sequence, like defense to offense, stealing the ball. Like, I remember being
talk about that.
Yeah, like literally people for some reason start that play at the shot. He stole the ball before he came around and made a great play. Like, Karl Malone got caught slipping. He didn't fully clear out the side, stole the ball, and that's how you get to that play. But I do want to talk about with the Bucks, where do they go from here? Because even when I was even watching just the post game, Giannis was like he want to go repeat right now.
Sure.
Like to me, he didn't look like he was satisfied and it was destiny fulfilled. I feel like he was happy, but he looked like he was ready to go hoop right now and go repeat again. Where do the Bucks go from here? Are there any moves or things that you could see that could be added to this team to help them repeat? And also, do you think they can repeat?
They're a player away from back-to-back.
What type of player?
An offensive player, a consistent offensive player. I like Chris Middleton. Fans of his, South Carolina boy, that's dope. I love Drew. Drew is a California guy. Brook Lopez a California. Drew from the Valley, feel me, and Brook Lopez from California. So I love what they have, but I think when you need to repeat, right, you need to eventually – they can't just go out here with one MVP and a bunch of players that are not of par offensively. They eventually got to get some more offense, to beat some of these other teams. This year they dismantled Miami, so I don't think that's the problem. The Nets, I think obviously that'll be their rival for a couple years to come.
For sure.
I don't know what's going to happen with Philly. I don't think the Hawks really could deal with them.
Yeah, I think the Hawks just got kind of lucky in this situation.
But I think the Nets, they need a little bit better offense for this year with the Nets. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to improve. They need to step up in offense. So they need a second-team All-NBA player, first-team All-NBA player, but they can't afford to lose anything defensively. So I don't know if it's the upgrade of a trade. I don't know if it's the upgrade of adding a player, but they need to get better offensively. They can't have those moments where they're going without baskets for 4 or 5 minutes. Like, you can't do that.
I mean, again, I know, Dante isn't the guy who averages 20 points, but the Bucks were missing of like a whole full starter.
Oh, I agree. And nobody talks about that. I think he's dope, and I think he's always going to help them. I think they'll be just fine next year. But I just think when you run into the Nets this year, you'll need some offense because now they have something to build off of. They have a purpose. You still need a little bit more offense. And then when you get in the finals, the Clippers is not healthy. Kawhi won't be there whether he resigns or not. He won't be there. The Suns have a good chance to go back. Jamal Murray.
I don't know if he's going to be back next year. Yeah. Warriors. You never know the Warriors.
People run into the Warriors. And the Warriors are a day away from being right there again.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll need some offense. You know what I mean? So I think they need to upgrade an offensive piece for one of those pieces and increase offense to another level. Like something consistently. It reminds me when the 94 Rockets won and they got Clyde in the middle of the season. That was so important to their second run.
Yeah. Fair. I mean, I also have a theory that I think the power balance is kind of switching back to the East, but I think it depends on, honestly, I think it depends on one Dame Lillard. Like, we've been an advocate of the Dame Philadelphia pairing forever, but I think the power is kind of switching back a little bit towards the East. I think the Bulls will be coming. I think the Hawks, they'll be a good team. I don't know if they'll be a championship level team, but I think they'll be a consistently good team. Obviously, the Nets aren't going anywhere for at least the next 2 to 3 years. The Bucks obviously still going to be there. Even if Philly doesn't end up with Dame, they're still going to be right there. Yeah. Literally right there. So I think the East definitely would be a little bit more difficult than the East that we've come to think about over the past decade. But I'm with you. Like, they could definitely help to be at least just something off the bench, even. You know what I'm saying? I think they was really only going like 8 deep. Like maybe something off the beach to go 9 or something like that. Something.
I've been having this weird thing in my mind, and I'm gonna say it. It sounds crazy because it sounds so extra, but I think Kawhi. Hope he doesn't, but I think he leaves the Clippers, right? Maybe goes to the Warriors. I don't know what he does, but I think Paul George takes on the reign of, leading this team. I think they struggle in the first half because it's, the way Ty Lue coaches Ty Lue is a super back end guy. He's gonna come around you every time, but he fronts in real slow. And this is like really so detailed, but I could see a situation where Paul George and Chris Middleton swap and Paul George end up being a Buck.
Only thing is, I don't think that benefits the Clippers.
I don't think it's about benefiting the Clippers as much as I think it'll be a situation where I don't like how much slack Paul George gets being in Los Angeles.
I don't either. I think it's very unfair.
There'll be a situation where you at the trade deadline and you need to get something quality back and something that people believe could be special. So I could see something happen like that in a moment of desperation. So if it was possibly any way to happen, make sure you had this podcast queued up for that.
I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. I mean, I think Paul George coming over to the Bucks. I mean, you might win 3 straight. Shit, PG coming to the Bucks.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think they need to just get better offensively to repeat. But again, I could be wrong, man. Somebody could take a step forward. I mean, I think Middleton been in the league 8 or 9 years now. So
how old is he? I think Chris Middleton is what, 28 maybe? He's 29, so he's 30 basically.
Yeah.
So at this point, he probably is who he is.
Yeah, Drew, he's been in the league over 10.
Yeah, Drew is who he is.
I just think they need to get better offensively, but something consistent. And I think that's where all NBA awards come into, because you have to be consistent to win those awards. I think the thing about the Bucks that make them great, I've been telling you this all year, they're consistently a great defensive team.
For sure.
They have moments of struggling in offense, but they rarely struggle defensively. They'll have a game 2 of the Nets series, right, where they struggle defensively, but they won't have a lot of those games. You know what I mean? Those games are not going to happen against this team.
But they have 3 first-team All-NBA defenders just in their starting lineup.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Drew, Brook, and Giannis. I mean, but also my thing, even talking about the Bucks offense being more consistent, if what is Giannis plays like he played in Game 6 every game? Like, what if he becomes a 70% free throw shooter? I think he shot like 60% this year. What if he becomes 70%? That's 33 points a night.
It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a couple more years. You know what I mean? Not just next year. Yeah, it'd be special jump up 10% in 1 year. I don't think that's ever happened, but
no, I think it happened. I think Chris Webber did it. I think Chris Webber jumped up like 30% in 1 year.
Bam went crazy too. Bam did a crazy jump too, because I think Bam was a bad free throw shooter initially. Not horrible, but a bad one.
Yeah, so
it's possible. I mean, man, this man go work with Hakeem, go tap back into his Nigerian roots and start working with Hakeem. It ain't no telling what could happen. But I just think, as much as I love defense and I am the #1 advocate of defense,
you need some offense
in history. Eventually, you're gonna need some offense.
Somebody like we're talking about the NBA. You can't guard people every possession. These are the best. These everybody.
Yeah,
everybody on the court was a scorer in high school. Everybody averaged 30 before. You can't guard people every possession. At some point, you're going to score points.
Pat was in high school. They said Pat was giving niggas 40 and 30.
No, G. So Pat Bev graduated, I think, in 07, right? Yeah. So that was the era in which I was in high school. I was a sophomore. Bro, Pat Bev was averaging 40. Pat Bev was a scorer in high school. Like G, he would guard you but also the reason why he scored so many points was he would guard you full court, steal the ball, and bro, he averaged 40.
Yeah. So it's funny when you think about it, man, like Dennis Rodman was a scorer in college. I think he was like 20-something a game, 30. He has 30s. It's tough, you know what I mean? So I just think you need consistent offense. I think that's the difference. At the professional level, game speed is underrated. And I think the best of the best is built in consistency of being able to do the same thing over and over again for games straight. And the best guys can get it done all the time straight.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So.
For sure. But moving subjects a little bit, the Suns, obviously they lost in 6. I think this is a team that has a lot of, I don't want to say question mark, that they have a lot of potential. I'm not as high on them in the future as you are. But first of all, I want to talk about Devin Booker. What do you think Devin Booker's ceiling is as an NBA player, and how can he get better to help the Suns get over the hump, or at least get back to the finals?
I mean, he's going to get better just with sheer experience next year.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker is just like this offensive phenom. He's one of the better scorers I've ever seen. Uses his size, everything great. He knows his spots. He's disciplined about how he gets to his spots. I think that's really important.
Yes, sure.
Defense, I worry about his athleticism because I still think defense is a lot of athleticism. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I don't think his lateral quickness is there enough.
He's been injured a few times. I think he took some injuries. So I like the Suns to have a chance to get back there. Having Chris Paul is important for how they play their offense and defense now. So maybe if they can work that out. But I think they got campaign and a couple guys. They need to trade for a real defensive anchor. You know, they need a true, consistent defensive juggernaut. You know, I think we were talking about it. I think the boy from Toronto.
Talking about Siakam.
Siakam, I think that's the kind of player, somebody who really a big 6'8", 6'9" guy that can guard versatile, you know what I mean, but can run the floor, can still finish, could 3-and-D stretch. I think they need that, but they need a really good defensive guy. They need somebody to anchor their defense, to challenge the best player on the other side consistently. And I think they're right back there. I think that's a real team. I think Ayton gets better a year later. That's going to be special. I think Ayton gets better. Book gets better. They're young players. I think Paul gets a little older, but he's a little wiser at this level. I think their coach gets more experience. I mean, again, Denver is still going to be who they are.
No. Denver is ailing. The Clippers are ailing. Obviously, the Lakers are. Well, no, we don't know. Well, the thing about the Lakers is health. Like, if Anthony Davis is going to do the same Anthony Davis thing, which he's not there, then like we can kind of discount the Lakers because just like
LeBron in year 19, who's been the last 2 to 3 seasons. You got Anthony Davis, who hasn't played a complete season his whole career. They're still trying to figure out this special player. It's a lot of contracts. I don't know. I think the Suns have a genuine chance to get right back if they could bring CP back. But I think to win, they need to improve on their defense. I think their offense finds good rhythms. I think their offense is great. I think defensively, they need a true anchor. I love what Jay Crowder does, but you have to get better at that position.
I also think from like seeing the Suns in person at least about 2 or 3 times this year, they don't really have any real rim protection. I think they definitely need like something off the bench in the center position where at least you can spot Ayton some minutes, because when Ayton goes to the bench, it's like a layup line. Like I remember the Clippers did like the same thing. They were down in the game, losing, and then it was in the fourth quarter, and somebody realized like, yo, we can just go to the rim. And I think Kawhi went, dunked on Ayton, and then remember the play when Kawhi dunked on Ayton, and then it was all down here from there. It was like a straight line drive to the rim the rest of the game, and they ended up winning that game. I think one thing the Suns could really use, I wish you on like probably a wing or something like that. And I think that they'll have chances to get one, because I also think the Suns are going to have the issue with paying people. They have a lot of young guys who actually can command a max on the open market, like Mikal Bridges for one.
Sure,
he can command $100 million on the open market. Yeah, and granted, you can go into the luxury tax to sign these players, but do you really want to go into the luxury tax? Like Booker is already on a max. CP say he won $100 million, and also he's I think the president of like the player association. So he can't just take less money because it just looks bad. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people are, he can go to Lakers, but like how does he get there? Yeah. So and also Ayton has to get a max. So there are going to be some guys that they're probably going to want to move just because it's cheaper for them to move those guys and pay them. So I think they will have potential to do that.
Dwight Howard is going to be.
Dwight would be incredible. Dwight off the bench would be incredible.
Yeah. JaVale McGee is incredible. I think
that would be incredible off the bench.
You have to upgrade to Crowder. I love Crowder, but I think that's the position, right? You need to upgrade in your starting lineup. You need to get a longer, wingier guy that can really, really, really defend. That's what I like about Siakam. And you got some assets. You do got the guy you're talking about. You got campaign. You got some guys that can make that trade happen. You have some things there. And I think you come back to the show and you change your chances. You change your, opportunities. I think that team needs to get better defensively. I realized there was certain parts in the game where they just couldn't do nothing with Giannis. It wasn't going to be a challenge at all. You have to challenge him.
Yeah, like they literally had nothing for him at some point.
Give Michael Jordan credit for, in 90. A lot of people make the excuse in 95. He played 17 games. Michael Jordan was just fine when he came back. He had no problems. He
had 53 his third game back in the Garden.
He was just fine. It wasn't that. It was they ran into Shaq and realized they couldn't defend Shaq. And, even against Pippen's, wishes, they wouldn't got Dennis Rodman to challenge him in those moments. And those challenges changes the trajectory of what happened to the Bulls. They were able to three-peat again. They wouldn't have been able to three-peat again without Dennis Rodman. It was just impossible. They would have probably not even won one without Dennis Rodman again because the centers changed.
I don't think this will happen. But, well, I mean, it could because Detroit is young. I mean, I'm sure they may want to get some young assets, but that would be great. I think Jeremy Grant instead of Crowder would be great. Jeremy Grant.
He's a little winger. Shout out to Antoine. That's player. It just got to be better. That's not good enough.
Fair.
Like you got to get somebody in theory that could be a first team all defensive guy. Like you need to anchor. This guy needs to possibly be, if put in position and coach, the defensive player of the year, because you have to play that kind of defense, to win that series. I think their offense is going to be fine. Book is a burgeoning great offensive player. Aiden is a burgeoning great offensive player. CP3 is a Hall of Fame first ballot, twilight offensive player, and can defend. Give them, at this point, you need a real shot at defensive player of the year. And so you're looking at what's going on with Toronto, that guy's available. I don't think you can lure Draymond Green away, from
that's not possible.
The Suns.
It's not possible.
I like the guy from Toronto. I like the guy. Maybe,
I mean, there's a name. I don't think he can be a defensive player of the year, but I do think he's gettable. Robert Covington.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy. That would be.
I think he's gettable.
I got an idea for you. About Ben Simmons.
So you want to trade him?
A backcourt that doesn't need the ball in his hand. So he's not going to take the ball out of Book hand consistently in the half court. Right? He'll pass the ball to Book, but when he gets the rebound in transition, Ayton and Book is young enough to run with him. Right? He's still 6'11", so he can guard whoever on the other side.
I mean, you could do like CP3 for Ben Simmons. I don't think I would do that if I'm Philly, but like you could do something like that. CP3 and maybe McHale for Ben Simmons.
3-team, maybe.
3-team. It's not crazy.
Ben Simmons in Phoenix, and now you have a whole different situation. That would be crazy.
Oh yeah, that would.
To me, if Giannis is the greatest athlete the NBA has ever seen and the greatest athlete today, Ben Simmons is the second.
Yeah, like I really hope Ben Simmons watched that game and was like, "Yo, you can kind of do this.
Yeah.
You can kind of do this, bro.
Easy. You're actually
like, this can be you.
You're actually more balanced as a player. Like you're still more compact.
He has more, I think, natural basketball skill than what Giannis does. I think Giannis has more. Like, I mean, he's just like, bro, you 6'11", like what? As far as actual natural basketball skill, I think Ben Simmons has more actual natural basketball skill. Now, their mindset is not the same. They mental.
Well, let's look at Giannis in 4 years in. This might be a different conversation. Remember, Ben Simmons is only 4 years playing. Like, so this is 8 year for Giannis. So I think that's a mistake every team in the NBA is making. I'll say this right now. Every team in the NBA, you'd be fucking retarded to not go get Ben Simmons. Something is wrong with you. Go get Ben Simmons. I don't care. There's not a player in the NBA not named Giannis Antetokounmpo I would not trade for Ben Simmons. There's not one.
A couple people I wouldn't trade for Ben Simmons, but
There's not one player.
There's a couple people I wouldn't trade for Ben Simmons. It's about 5 to 10. I wouldn't trade for Ben Simmons, but I do feel you. Teams, I wouldn't trade Jokic. I wouldn't trade Jokic. I'm not trading Jokic for Ben Simmons. I'm not trading Jokic for Ben Simmons. I understand why you say that because Ben Simmons can still do some Jokic type things and also play defense, but I'm not trading Ben Simmons for Jokic. No,
not also play defense. He's one of the best defensive player in the NBA.
Yes,
and coached correctly, he'll be the best offensive player in the NBA.
I feel you, but I'm not trading. I'm not doing it.
I trade again. I get it. This is the current MVP. Joker, I get it. I understand. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm that high on what Ben Simmons can be if coached offensively. Defensively, he's a different breed, and that's what you're going to need in the future of this NBA. You know what I mean? And again, this dude is from Australia, and we talking about another dude from Greece. Like I'm telling you,
I do want to get into that, pivoting slightly because me and you had this conversation, right?
Yeah.
We had this conversation, right? America, as far as the way we teach basketball, we're fucked.
It looks
let's actually analyze the last 3 MVPs, right? You have Giannis who won back-to-back, and then you have Jokic. Bro, like Europe, well, like not even Europe, the world is whooping our ass when it comes to basketball talent. And I mean, even look at the last defensive player of the years. Giannis won, Rudy won. I think Rudy's won like how many now? Rudy won 3. So the last 4 defensive player of the years have not been from America.
Dig the runner-ups.
Who are the runner-ups? No, even the MVP award, Embiid, he's not American.
Defensive Player of the Year runner-up, Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, not American. Like, bro, like I don't like. I have a bold prediction. I don't think we will see an American-born MVP for this entire decade.
Shit.
I don't think we'll see one.
It's gonna be tough because
I don't think we'll see Jokic.
Giannis is a real threat to win 2 or 3 more.
Giannis can probably win 2 or 3 more. Again,
Embiid was the runner-up, so you would imagine he'd be nice. Joker.
The only thing holding him back is health. As long as Embiid can have a healthy season, like a season where, like, okay, let's say you play an 82 game season. If he can play 70 games, he has a very high chance to win MVP award.
So we go a whole decade.
I think we can go a whole decade. You gotta think Luka. I'm like assuming Luka gonna pick up 1 or 2. Yep. Giannis, like we said, can pick up 1 or 2 more. Embiid is there. You high on Ben Simmons. Let's say Ben Simmons go to a different team. Say he go out there average 22, 10, and 10. Very possible for Ben Simmons to shoot 60%. Very possible. Like, bro, I don't know when the next time we might see a American-born MVP. It might be a good minute. We might go an entire decade without, like, what American?
I was just saying that.
Under the age of 30. Because obviously Steph may come out next season, do his thing, and go crazy and win it. But what American under the age of 30 do you think can win an MVP award that's playing in the league right now? Now, obviously, we don't know who coming up through the ranks. Maybe Cade Cunningham go out there and do something different. But what American coming up do you think has the potential to win MVP? Maybe Zion?
No.
Tatum?
Not Zion because Giannis does what he does better. He does the same exact thing way better. Like, he's a knockoff of what Giannis does. So no. If I had to pick an up and coming American, maybe. So Trae Young, it'll be tough. Like, he would need to have like this unbelievable defensive team. They have to finish first in the East, and he had to have one of those seasons to where they have to just campaign for him. But he wouldn't probably deserve it.
But I could see Trae just because of the stats. Like, he might go average 30 and 10.
But that's why I said you need this unbelievable defensive team that helped win 60 games. That's kind of far, not impossible, but just not like.
I can't see Book winning one because
it's not efficient.
I can't see Book winning one.
He would have to see that's on fire.
I can't see Donovan winning one. No. I can't see Tatum is maybe the one where it's like maybe Tatum, maybe Tatum. Like literally, what American under the age of 30 in the league right now do you think can challenge any of these foreign guys for even the best player in the league title? Like very soon, the top 5 people in the NBA might all be foreign born.
That's not crazy to believe. I'm thinking about it, right? Oh man, the way we teach basketball in America for AAU must not be working or something, because the way we teach basketball in America, these foreign guys come over and take the game to a different level. You're right.
And we are behind. And again, that's why the NBA team has trouble when they go to FIBA. It used to be you go over there, you walk all over everybody. Now you go over there, you have a bad game, you might get beat by a random country. Nigeria starting lineup has 5 NBA players. Nigeria.
Not might get beat, will get beat.
And also, some of the people on the Nigerian, Bam should be on the damn Nigerian team. So should Giannis.
But I guess they technically could be.
So,
that's a good question, dog. I mean, I think I could see Bam possibly competing for Defensive Player of the Year really soon.
That's fair. But is Bam even American?
Yeah, he's from Jersey. He was born in Jersey.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know offensively. I mean, MVP is tough. I don't see it. I don't, because the thing is, for Zion is one of those kind of guys, but Giannis does it better.
Zion also had a team right now.
The boy in Atlanta does it pretty well. Trae does it good, but Luka does it better. You know what I mean? They're doing the same thing, but there's these, European players and African players, these overseas players that's doing it better. So when you're saying American-born guys to win MVP, it's slight. I can't think of any. Book has a chance, but
I don't think I think it's very hard for just scorers. Like for just scorers to win an award usually. I think probably KD was probably the last one.
he had to step up, to his field goal percentage would need to be over 50. Probably need to be 30 plus points. That's just tough out. That's a tough out for a 6'5", 6'6" guy or 6'5" guy, the way everybody's telling me. I don't know, dog. It's tough. Tatum, I don't think Tatum is even close. I think Tatum makes some first-team All-NBAs, but I don't see Tatum anywhere close to shooting 50%. Like, that would make him Kevin Durant.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know, man. That's a great point. I don't know who could do it.
I don't. I mean, and even if we look at defensive player of the year, I mean, like even like a guy like Clint Capella, I think Clint Capella has that kind of potential. I mean, he averages 14 boards and gives you about 2 blocks.
I think Bam is the guy for that. I think Bam is the guy I can see.
That's fair. That's fair.
I can see Bam pulling it off.
But MVP, bro, I
don't see it.
Yeah, I think AD will go down as one of the best players to never win an MVP award. Just because I don't think he'll ever, for one, play enough games. And then also I think with LeBron being there, as long as LeBron there is gonna take some votes away.
That's how I feel about all of the Nets players. Like you're pretty much all compromised the MVP. So
Then
LeBron, obviously LeBron is past that point. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Kawhi's not healthy. No, Kawhi's not healthy. I don't know, man. So I'm glad you asked that. So if I had to pick another MVP in this league,
American born,
probably not drafted.
That's and then again, all the guys you would say are 30. Dame, maybe you think Dame get to a different situation. Maybe Dame can win it, but I'm assuming that Dame goes to a different situation. It's gonna be with the player. Yeah, that's better than him. So that cancels him out of that.
Like he would have to go to something like Embiid, and you're not gonna really.
And you're not winning that over Embiid. Like basically, you guys cancel each other out. Steph, it's like Steph is the only one I can see who maybe next year, Steph come out here. Yeah, Steph has the season that he had this year. Next year, Clay's back. You have a more healthy season, and they end up being number 1 in the West, and he gets one more. Other than that, I can't see, unless somebody takes some exponential jump that I don't see right now. I don't see it.
Kawhi was the guy I would have liked, but he's not going to be. He's out for a year, and when he comes back, it's just tough. You know what I mean? Oh man, that's crazy. He's not drafted.
We might, unless like Cade Cunningham or somebody like that comes in. And
American MVP is not drafted still. That's crazy when you think about it.
And we the people who made the game.
Man,
again, we have a real issue with the way that we teach basketball in this country.
Yeah. Damn, we not. I would like to say Book, but he would have to step up significantly. Like 3 or 4% field goal percentage. It's not impossible.
And again, even Aiden, he ain't even American. He's from the Bahamas.
Yeah, but I thought about that. He's not
from the Bahamas.
So Book. So who was our front runners? Book, Trey.
I would say Book, Trey, and Zion and Tatum.
I don't see Tatum. Tatum just don't shoot efficient enough, for his position. Like somebody who had to coach him much better and coach him down. Yeah, it's tough think about it, dog. There ain't a ton of small forwards that won that award.
Which is why I think he had to move to power forward and play a little bit closer to the rim. I think it would help him out.
If they do that, this is a whole nother conversation. If they do that with Paul Pierce could possibly be MVP. You know what I mean? I genuinely
Paul George.
Yeah, Paul George. Excuse me. Paul George could be MVP. I genuinely think playing these guys closer helps their efficiency, gets them more into a rhythm. They'll knock down more shots, but they're not gonna do that. They don't care what I'm saying. So I don't know, dog. I don't know. P. I don't know, P. It don't look good for America. I tell you that.
It doesn't. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, bro, we not gonna see an American, but we might literally go the entire 2020s with no. And again, I think that's the era. I think Giannis winning the way he won. I think that's what it symbolized more than anything. Obviously, Giannis is, Giannis, but I think it also symbolized, we're like, yo, we are trailing behind the world. Like again, you have Giannis, you have Luka coming, Jokic just won. Like literally, foreigners won every award this year, outside of like the stuff that don't matter. And even like LaMelo played overseas. I mean, I know he's not a foreign player, but he played overseas.
Yeah, his game did come from over there.
Came from overseas. Like, bro, we had a foreign. Rudy won Defensive Player of the Year, foreign. Jokic won MVP, foreign. LaMelo won.
Runner-up Simmons, runner-up Embiid.
And then if we look at what was the first team All NBA this year?
Your boy, I think Tybu made a defense. Offense is Giannis, is Joker, is Steph, is Dame. I think it was Steph and Dame.
Yeah, no, it was Giannis, Kawhi, Steph, Luka, Jokic. Bruh, we outnumbered. We even outnumbered on that team.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. They caught up and they trying to pull out in front.
So it's like, bro, again, we have a real issue with the way that we teach basketball here in America, and I don't necessarily know,
Okay, here you go. I'm looking at it right here. I'm gonna repeat it. You see, Bam and KD, the Olympic team over the made ball.
Yeah.
Fucking them niggas. Okay, so look, so it's Giannis, it's Curry, it's Luka, it's Joker, and it's Kawhi.
And Kawhi's not there next season, so that.
Who gets that space? First team All NBA as a small forward.
As a forward, I think Zion could get it.
Is it that time?
I think because again, I think Zion will average like 28. He will shoot 60% from the field. He should average 10 boards. I don't know why he doesn't rebound that much. He should average 10 boards. I think he could average like 4 assists with that as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think Zion could get it. Like Zion's probably the best hope that we have to win it next. But again, Zion gotta get the team.
I don't know. As far as MVP, it's just gonna be tough. I think Book got a good chance, though. I know that sounds crazy. I think
that's fair.
I wonder if Book can raise up his percentage. Can they get better defensively to get more easier looks? Can he shoot 51%, 30 points? If I'm CP3, I'm willing him to do it. So my best pick would be Book.
That's fair.
Book would be the guy. I think Tatum is a little bit behind. I think Trey needs a ton defensively. They do have assets, so it could happen. But I like Book. I like Book for it. Book still one.
That's fair. Well, moving forward, last little topic of the day before we get out of here. Next year in the league, what do you foresee next year? Lakers. What do you foresee with your Lakers next year? Do you think there's any way they can get back in the championship contention? Do you think they have another finals run left in them? What do you think is going to happen with the Lakers and just with like the rest of the league next season?
So that's been a quandary for me, right? Because I really want to get Lonzo Ball. I want to get Lonzo Ball to the Lakers. Lonzo Ball to the Lakers with AD together, so we have a future to be able to do what we need to do. Some two-way threats. I think the problem with the Lakers, instead of trying to imagine what I see, because what needs to happen is they need to build that team around defense.
Yes, they do.
It's going to be a different question. They probably aren't. I get Lonzo Ball. I move LeBron forward to the front court, allow him to score 22 points a game. I'm only playing 29 minutes, win, lose, or draw. I'm not trying to dig out every game. I don't care if we go into the playoffs at 7 or 8. I just need LeBron and Anthony Davis healthy. So I'm going to play them less minutes. So I'm going to do everything I need to get a deeper roster. I need a deep roster to win a couple more games, and I need to make sure those guys are available, you know what I mean, and healthy by the time the playoffs come.
But with their cap situation, how do you do that?
Man, you got to trade somebody. You had to make some trades, but you're not going to be able to trade for a superstar.
That's like what? Like also the issue is like the Lakers. I don't think they have many assets. Like probably the best asset they have is probably Schroeder,
and he's not an asset because he's a free agent. So you would have to.
You would have to sign and trade.
He would have to
allow you to sign and trade
and get some pieces back. And I don't know what the hell Schroeder brings back.
I don't know either.
Schroeder is a backup point guard that we mistaken and thought was a starting point guard.
I don't know why. I don't even know why they went and got Schroeder. I was like, that's not I've watched Dennis Schroeder before. It's like he's not. Shout out Schroeder. He's not that good.
Yeah. And of course, out of everybody, we tried to make him the starting. But everybody else knew better. It's like,
even Atlanta started him for 1 year and was like, we're gonna restart our franchise. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. They started him for 1 year, won 17 games, and was like, restarting our franchise, not doing this again.
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen with us. We're in a weird situation, to be honest.
I mean, I I think they can make one more run at it. Again, I think that so much with the Lakers just depends on health. Like I hate to say that, but so much just depends on health. Like if Anthony Davis, for one, I agree they need to build a team around defense. But I've also even thought, even like in general, just from watching Anthony Davis more when he came to the Lakers, I don't think you can build a team around Anthony Davis's offense. I don't think his offense is consistent enough for you to be able to do that. Like he shoots a lot of.
I think his offense is consistent enough. I just don't think it's
dominant enough.
Transcendent enough. Yeah, like LeBron's prime offense is transcendent enough. Now it's not anymore. So you take two
very good offensive players.
Davis makes first team All NBA anyway. Yeah. Maybe this year.
Why would he?
Kawhi is hurt. You know, maybe because he's, you know, but then you got to deal with Embiid if he's as healthy as you are. The Joker and Giannis have that slot for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, lockdown off top lockdown.
You know, who can you be better than if everybody's healthy, taking into all things account? Maybe you're better than Embiid. Maybe you're not. I just think it's tough. So I think I wouldn't build it. I don't think the Lakers. I think where LeBron is at in his career, his offense isn't as transcendent. We saw that in the first round. I think teams can deal with his offense at this point. I think Anthony Davis is a really great offensive player, but he's like Kawhi, where his offense is there and it's good, but it's just not
dominant enough.
Yeah, to build an offensive set around. So I think you just start looking for defensive pieces. I don't know if they're going to make that choice. They probably won't. But I think you really need to go and get the best defenders you can get with Lonzo Ball. And defenders, the thing about defenders, they're cheap.
They are cheap. People, yeah.
So I'd be looking for, you know, defensive guys who've been good for a career. You know what I'm saying?
Who would you keep on the roster? That's the who on the roster that they have right now. If you were the GM and they gave you like, yo, here you go, glasses, figure it out. Who would you keep?
Everybody gone.
Everybody. LeBron and AD, the only ones you keeping.
Yeah, and I would trade LeBron James, but that just ain't gonna happen. You know, I would trade LeBron James for Ben Simmons. I know that sounds crazy, but I would at this point in 19 years. But that's never going to happen. Moving forward. I am a Laker, so I'm always thinking for the future. But if you're going to keep AD and LeBron, I mean, Kuzma, we need to let him free so he can go out and be the great player he was supposed to be. Okay. We need to get back somebody that can defend for Kyle Kuzma.
So Kuzma's gone. Kuzma's out of there.
Defenders. Yes, because we're holding him back. We holding him back. We ruining this man's career. Lakers don't ruin careers. Lakers careers blossom because of Lakers. I don't know what's going on to the point where we're talking bad about Kyle Kuzma. This is one of our favorite sons, and we're talking bad about him. Like
I don't think they ruined his career. I don't think they ruined his career.
We're trying to where people's like, oh, Kyle Kuzma. It's like, bro, Cools. We talking bad about the coolest Cools. It's Cools. But again, you know, we need to let that bird free so we can go watch him like we did for Julius Randle. We allowed him to be the greatness he was going to be. Brandon Ingram, he ended up being great. Lonzo Ball's coming into his greatness. Jordan Clarkson is coming to his greatness. You know, all our players are coming into their greatness, and I want the same thing to happen for Cools. I want him to come into his greatness. So, you know, since we stuck with Bron and we stuck with AD, and this is what we're doing, this is what we're building around. This type of play, let's get a bunch of defense. Let's put them guys back around, some defensive guys like we had in 2020. Let's go get some defenders, and let's just play to get in the playoffs. Let's not make LeBron play 32 minutes. He shouldn't be trying to compete for no MVP.
It's over with.
AD, you ain't had a full season this your whole career, so we're not. You guys are playing 28 and 30 minutes. Win, lose, or draw, bro. Win, lose, or draw. Get off these old legs. We're gonna get y'all about 7 minutes a quarter. 7 minutes a quarter. Let y'all
do all you can in that 7 minutes. Sit down.
Whatever y'all do.
Sit down.
How much time y'all got on this court? But y'all gonna be ready come April.
Fair.
On the Clippers, I'm scratching and praying to keep Kawhi Leonard.
No. If I'm the Clippers, I want Kawhi Leonard to want to pursue other options, and I am trading him to the Golden State Warriors, and I'm getting Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and both of them picks.
I'm still not doing that.
I'm trading him, bro.
That's if I have to lose him, that's what I do. But
I'm trading him, bro.
I would give everything, including my firstborn son, to keep him.
Now, look, obviously, if Kawhi wants to stay, you have to like bring him back on a max contract. It just looks terrible. For one, you finally have somebody commit to being a Clipper, and then you just gonna let him go because he got hurt. It just looks.
You have one of the greatest 25 NBA players ever, still in the prime of their career, committing.
Whoa! Kawhi's one of the greatest 25 players ever. To you?
25 ever.
He's one of the greatest 25 ever.
Ever.
So in your small forward rankings, where's Kawhi Leonard at? 5.
And could be 4. I just don't want to skip him over KD like that.
Okay. All right.
We still talking about a 2-time defensive player of the year that's just probably turning 30. We still talking about a 2-time champion, 2-time MVP, finals MVP, one of the better offensive players, first team All-NBA 2021. We're talking about possibly top 5 two-way players in the league. If Giannis is number 1, feel me? If Giannis is number 1 and AD may be number 2, Kawhi would be number 3.
That's fair. I can't argue with that. That's fair.
So
that's fair.
You can build a winner behind him. There's winners can be built behind him. If you abandon that, you don't know when you'll be able to build a winner again. You just have luxuries.
I just question Kawhi's health. Like even just from watching Kawhi up close in like the 1920 season, I literally remember looking at him walk around. Like after every game, you getting an hour of like massages done on you in fucking December. I'm like, bruh, you only 28 years old. Careers in, let's say 34. You got to make it to that point. I just didn't see a way. I didn't think Kawhi was going to even make it to the end of this contract anyway, just because I just had so many concerns about his health. Like it said, a degenerative quad. And even with the way that he hurt his ACL, it's just a routine play. Like I don't think you're supposed to. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think I've seen nobody tear their ACL just like that. Now, granted, it wasn't fully torn, partially torn, but the surgery is basically the same thing they do for a fully torn ACL. I just have concerns about Kawhi's health, personally.
Rightfully so. I mean, he doesn't look strong. He's looking AD-ish at times. But who knows when you get another kind of player?
You're not wrong. I just don't want to commit $200 million to that.
We're still talking about probably the best small forward in the NBA. As much as everybody's going to say somebody else or whoever they want to name, we're talking about possibly one of those guys. You can't get Kevin Durant. His offense is transcending enough. And even his offense, they added another MVP to his offense to hopefully get it done. Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year. Can you trade somebody for Rudy? Possibly, combine him with Kawhi. But I just think you have to try to keep Kawhi at all costs. Now, if you're going to lose him, if he wants to be a Warrior, that's the best trade package you can get.
Tell you, I would
unless
call
you
the Warriors,
which I doubt he goes to Doc Rivers. Unless you can get Ben Simmons. Because, again, Ben Simmons is the goal for every team to get. I don't care what nobody tells you. I don't care what your fandom thinks. I don't care what Stephen A., Skip, none of them dudes are saying. Ben Simmons is in his career 4 years. Look at Giannis 4 years into his career. Look at Ben Simmons 4 years in his career. Ben Simmons is better than Giannis 4 years into his career. He is second. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 4 years in, he's accomplished more. He's already been more times an all-star.
That is fair. That is true. That is true. That is true.
Teams, your defensive. He's made all-NBA teams. He's only 4 years into his playing career.
That is true. Technically 5 because the first year was hurt, but yes.
He didn't play. So 4 years into his playing career.
That is true. Technically in 4 years, he has
the NBA, and he is a phenomenon. I am betting the house on that guy. I'm going to coach him into the greatness that his body is already going, but his mind may not be there yet. I'm going to coach him. I'm going to tell him he is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I mean, he just
sliced bread, young man.
He just turned 25 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Ben Simmons. He just turned 25 2 days ago. Gives you 5 years until 30. So if you get him on a max. Basically, you have 5 years till he even hits 30 years old.
You're going to have a top 5 two-way player in the game. Possibly MVP, possible defensive player of the year. A stud at 6'11" that can play, that can defend Trae Young. And
that's
Giannis.
Crazy. And he can guard
both.
He
really can defend both of them.
He can guard both. He has the lateral quickness and the athleticism to be able to guard pretty much.
I'm talking about man to man.
He has the athletic. He has the strength, the lateral quickness, and the athletic ability to be able to guard pretty much anybody outside of like Embiid or something like that. And he would probably even hold his own against Embiid.
Yeah, he'd do good against Embiid.
He would probably even hold his own against Embiid.
So, again, outside of that, barring that, who do you build winners around? Future MVPs. Luka's a future MVP, but he's going to need a ton of offense to make that work.
I also thought Dallas made a mistake when they let go of Steph Curry. Like, I'm like, bro, you had a 118. I think Dallas had the best offensive rating in history last year. Lean the fuck in, bro.
Yeah.
Lean in. If we had a 118, fuck it. I want a 122 this year. Fuck defense. We just gonna lean in, bro.
Why not? If we gonna do it, we gonna do it.
Lean in. If we gonna all the way. I know. I want to trade him for jobs.
I do respect about D'Antoni. He don't play no defense, but boy, offense, he
lean in.
I had an epiphany. This is the trade that can happen. I don't know if it's possible. Imagine the unicorn going to Golden State.
For who?
Well, think about it. Where's his trade value at Dallas? He's taking a lot of.
I think that was actually a rumored trade at like one point in time. I think it was actually a rumored trade for like Wiggins. For Wiggins, I think it was.
That needs to be a trade that they revisit. They need to revisit that trade. The unicorn is another player like Kyle Kuzma, like how we're destroying Kyle Kuzma's offense and making him this inefficient guy, and he never knows when his opportunity is coming. The Dallas Mavericks are doing that to the unicorn. I would love to see them open the gate and free the unicorn. Let's let him run to San Francisco, be with the Warriors, and you watch what happened then.
I agree.
If the unicorn was in the Golden State Warriors offense,
it'd be crazy.
Steph Curry's an MVP.
Nah, I'm not even. That's just actually unfair. Like, bro, the court is way too spread, bro. It's just actually unfair.
But think about it. Where's his trade value at? People talk about the unicorn.
It's very low, and people, when they talk about KP, they don't really use context. Like, even, they look at Luka's greatness, and Luka is incredible. He's great. But when you dribble the fucking ball, like the man had 20 and like 13, or like 30 and 10 at halftime. Do you know how much you have to have the ball to have 30 and 10 at halftime? That's cool, but that just means everybody else is just basically standing there just waiting for you to get the ball. And like, that's not how KP plays. If you look at how he played when he was in New York, like, he had the ball, he was able to dribble, he was able to, even though he wasn't in the post too much, he was still post up. He wasn't just standing there on the corner just waiting to get past the ball once every 5 times down the court, and you expect him to make a shot.
KP in Golden State is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, of course. I think
KP
is
a possible trade. Wiggins, Wiseman.
Wiggins, Wiseman, maybe the Wiseman, maybe the Warriors pick. Yeah, the Warriors pick. And you can actually probably get a pick back from Dallas, actually, probably.
Yeah, I'll take 27 or 25.
Yeah, you can probably get a pick back from Dallas.
Y'all don't love him. They'll love him. Y'all don't love him. They'll love him.
And just know why.
And let Draymond get him on some defense.
Yeah. I think he's the guy who could be a great help defender. Obviously, he probably wouldn't be a great man-to-man defender, but bro, you 7'3", you should at least be a great.
What Golden State did for Kevin Durant defensively.
I actually thought Kevin Durant, the first year he was in Golden State, could have been a defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
He was one of the best help defenders in the NBA.
So that's what we should put our energy into hoping happens. Let's hope Dallas, Mark Cuban, and them open the gate and free the unicorn. He runs to San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And let's see the Golden State Warriors against the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's see good old school 2-point offense against 3-point offense.
That would be incredible.
Let's see the matchup of defense.
That would be incredible.
That would be impressive.
It'd be incredible. So you calling it? So your way too early final predictions for next year is what? Knowing what you know right now, your way incredibly too early final prediction for next year is what?
Knowing what my imaginary mind, or knowing, because I don't know nothing right now. Nothing's happening. So I'm gonna go with my imagination, which I never do in life.
Okay, good. Go.
Golden State Warriors versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
I can't say I disagree with you.
That's my imaginary mind of what I see that could possibly happening.
Somebody says, "What do you think about this?"
No. You can't put Buddy Hield with LeBron James and AD. You need somebody better. LeBron James is obviously on the decline. I know that sounds crazy because people think LeBron James is going to be good to year 27.
No, he's not. I have eyes. It hurts me, but I have eyes. Like, no.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think if we swindle this game and and focus and turn him into a scorer, not so much as the primary playmaker, but look, we need you to really get this 22 points in 28 minutes. You know, maybe he catches Kareem. Maybe he lasts as long enough to catch Kareem, because if he keep rolling down 28 feet, he won't last. He won't last.
Yeah.
He'll get injured again. He'll get injured again, and he won't. And it don't have to be an injury that he's happening on his own. It'll just take him longer and longer to recover.
To get back. Yeah.
So
to get back.
Let's get him, you know, for the first time, he needs a super team. He needs a super team. If we want him to compete at this level, Russell Westbrook, why I don't think he's the greatest combo guard you can have, but if you turn LeBron into a pure scorer and like, yo, look, let Russell play make. You know what I mean? Don't turn
Okay. Yeah, question. So would you like Russell in the, like, because I would fucking love it. I just think you put ADS in it, you put Braun at like the 4, you go get you 2 shooters who can play defense, and put Russ at like point guard, and like, hey, bro, have at it.
I mean, I watch every night. I watch every night anyway, but
it'd be some great basketball. It'd be some great basketball.
You just couldn't turn him into a combo guard. And I think people keep trying to use LeBron as a playmaker from the top of the perimeter. So you're going to always have to need the combo guard. Eventually, like right now, we're in a space where a combo guard, we need Steph Curry to win. That's how bad it is. Like, that's how bad he is at this point in his offensive career, that you would need that type of combo guard to win. So because he's not, I mean, Chris Paul is a decent combo guard at this point in his career. But I don't know. We're in a tough situation, man. It's tough for us right now. We don't have no money. We still over the top. We got KCP. I don't know what that's worth right now. We got Kuzma. I don't know what that's worth right now. We didn't lower it so bad.
To the point that we talk about TXT as a trade asset. And shout out TXT, but no.
We're gonna lose him.
Yeah, because he yeah.
He's another one, got a great wingspan, and so like
he does have a great wingspan.
Let's go big or go home. Let's go Russell Westbrook. That's the coach's job to figure it out. Hey, we're gonna give you all this talent, coach.
Figure it out.
You figure it out.
Again, like I said, I would love to see it. I'll put AD, bro. You gonna have to play center. Braun play the 4. Stick Kuzma out there. I mean, not Kuzma. KCP out there. Find me a wing.
We'll lose KCP and Kuzma in that trade.
Fair. Well, I don't know shit. Find me 2 random wings, and hey, bro, here, throw the ball out there. Figure it out.
Get PJ Tucker for this high $5 million. We get a couple of them guys.
Figure it out.
Guys. Hey, coach. Hey, your job. Go figure this out.
Good job. But yeah, we can leave it there for now, man. Glasses, man, as always, bro. Appreciate you coming on, dog. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Next episode, TP should be back, hopefully. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Hoops and Brews. And man, until next time, we will holla at you.
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a max. Roll up this, we ballin' to the max. Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Yeah.